I'm Mehak Chawla, arts educator, Bharatanatyam dancer and disciple of Guru Srimati Geeta Chandranji. As we were discussing about the tribal and folk art, I continue with the tribal arts. So tribal creativity in India is not limited to music and dance. It flows equally into painting, carving and sculpture also, where performances and spirituality are giving a lasting form. So we begin by discussing the Burli paintings of Maharashtra, which are striking in their simplicity, wide geometric figures on mud walls, yet behind this simplicity lies deep meaning. One of the most important figures in Burli art is Mother Goddess. As you can see on this screen, the image of Mother Goddess, the Palghad goddess in center, covered in the center and designed to the side by geometrical white carvings. So this is Burli painting by Burli tribe. In this, the Devi is sitting in Dev Chowk position, which is a sacred square. She symbolizes fertility and is central to rituals related to marriages and harvesting. Alongside dancers circling the tarpa musicians are common motif representing the eternal cycle of life and unity of the community. Now we discuss about the Gond painting of Madhya Pradesh, which is unique for their intricate lines, dots and dashes that fills every figure, giving a sense of rhythm and movement, almost like a song captured on canvas. What makes them important is not just their visual appeal, but their narrative strength. They often depict myths, folklore and natural elements where even animals and trees seem alive with energy. Music and musician frequently appear, showing how sound and storytelling are inseparable from Gond imagination. As you can see on your screen, the Gond painting by Gond tribe. So it has a dot in it. It is made with dots. Now we discuss about the dhokra, metal sculptures of Bastar. It belongs to the Chhattisgarh. It holds another kind of importance. They preserve living tradition through an ancient craft made using 4,000 years old lost wax casting technique. Each piece has a raw, rustic beauty. Many sculptures depict drummers, dancers, ritual procession and deities, transforming fleeting moments of performance into timeless bronze sculptures. As you can see on the screen, these are the sculptures which are being made by this tribe. So these are the bronze structure. They are not just object of beauty but also ritual offerings linking the community to its ancestors and gods. Together, these visual arts show that in tribal traditions, performance is not momentary. It continues to live on in sacred paintings, symbolic carvings and eternal metal forms. Now we discuss about the significance of tribal performing arts. Tribal performing arts are not just for entertainment, they are the lifeblood of community and continuity. Each song, dance and ritual is a vessel of memory carrying forward myths, histories and wisdom that may not be written but are lived and remembered. These performances are inherently collective. Men and women join hands, voices blend, drums resound, binding the community together in a shared rhythm of life. At the same time, tribal performances reflect a deep spiritual philosophy. They connect human beings with the forces of nature and the divine. The circular pattern of dances echoes the cycles of season and renewal, while song invoke deities, ancestors, and village spirit. In this way, art becomes a bridge between the earthly and the sacred. They also sustain India's rich oral tradition. In communities where language may not always be written, stories survive in cadence of a chant, the steps of a ritual dance, or the beat of a drum, ensuring continuity across generations. Finally, these traditions have contemporary relevance. Many tribal dances are now celebrated on national and international platforms, from cultural festivals to academic forums. This recognition not only brings visibility but also provides new livelihood for tribal artists, helping preserve and nurture tradition in a rapidly changing world. Now, let us discuss about the folk art. When we talk about folk art, we are talking about the living heartbeat of Indian culture. These arts are born in villages among ordinary people, and they express the joys, sorrows, and values of everyday life. Unlike classical art, which is codified and refined over centuries, folk art is spontaneous, flexible, and deeply rooted in local traditions. Folk art is the art of the common man, expressed in a simple language and forms, created for entertaining and uniting the community. In India, the word Janapada is often used, literally meaning the ways of common people. Another phrase, Lok Parampara, describe the living tradition of villages passed down orally and performed collectively. If we see in English language, the word folklore reflects a similar idea. It includes the stories, legends, songs, customs, and rituals of ordinary communities carried from generation to generation. Now, India is still largely a rural society, and it is here in its village that the richness of folk art truly comes alive. Most folk traditions are deeply tied to rituals and are performed on special social occasions such as festivals, marriages, harvest celebration, or religious rites. They are not stage performances in modern sense, but rather collective act of devotion, joy, and remembrance. One of the striking features of folk art is close relationship with nature. The rhythm of the seasons, cycle of sowing and harvesting, the arrival of monsoon rains, and the blessing of sun and rivers, all these inspire folk songs, dances, and rituals. Villagers see themselves as part of nature, not apart from it, and their art reflects their harmony. Equally central in their devotion to local gods and goddesses known as Gram Devtas. These deities, often unique to each region and believed to protect the village and ensure prosperity. Annual festivals dedicated to these gods become moments of collective celebration where dance, music, and theatre flourishes. As you can see on the slide, the Mariamman, the goddess of rain, they are being prayed by the Tamil Nadu folk artists so that the rain comes to their town and the goddess bless them. For instance, the worship of the goddess is accompanied by folk dances and dramatic rituals also. In Mahabharat, festival of Khandoba bring communities together in devotional music, and Povadas, the ballet performances of Maharashtra. The offerings in folk art are not grand or ornate, they are simple yet profoundly meaningful. Villagers create songs in their local dialects that everyone can participate in, and visual forms, painting, carvings or images using natural materials available around them. These art forms serve multiple purposes. They entertain, they educate, they preserve memory, and most importantly, they bind the community together in a shared experience. What is especially beautiful about folk art is that it is inclusive. They are not strict. There are no strict boundaries between performers and the audience. Everyone sings, claps, dances and plays the instrument together. It's a collective expression of community. Thus, when we study folk art, we are not just looking at a village entertainment. We are looking at living tradition that preserve history, transmit cultural values and nurture the relationship between humans, nature and the divine. They are the roots from which India's cultural tribe has grown, and they continue to nourish even today. Let's discuss about the folk dances of India. It is richly diverse, deeply rooted in rituals, festivals and agricultural cycle. They reflect the spirit of community life and cultural identity. Now, let's see from North India. So, if I speak of Jammu and Kashmir, as you can see on your screen, the folk dance Dhamali, and we also have Rauf from Jammu and Kashmir, which is being performed by women, and Kood, the men's performed it, holding together, forming lines and celebrating life. Now let's see the folk dance form of Himachal Pradesh. Nati is very common and frequently done to celebrate the occasions or the joy of life. Chapeli, the folk art of Himachal Pradesh, it is being performed by a man and a woman, a duet together, symbolizing love. Now, Dangi. Dangi is also being performed by the folk artists of Himachal Pradesh, in which they collaboratively participate together and celebrate this dance form. And it is also done at the time of harvesting. Let's talk about Punjab. From Punjab we have Bhangra, Gidda, Jhumar, Jago and Dhankara. As you can see on the screen, we have Bhangra, Gidda. Gidda is done by the women of Punjab. Jhumar, Jago, and this is Dhankara. Now we have on the screen, we have the folk dances of Haryana. We have Dhamal, Phag, Sang. Sang is a theatrical form. Kohoria. From Rajasthan, we have Khumar, Kalbelia. We also have Bhavai. In Bhavai, they manage to balance the pot over their head, and the pots are in very much in numbers, as you can see on the screen as well. And Gair. Gair is being danced by man of Rajasthan in a circular formation. They celebrate it like this. Now we move to Uttarakhand. From Uttarakhand we have Langveer Nritya, Pandav Nritya, Chapeli, Jhora and Raman. As you can see on the screen, Langveer Nritya, Jhora, Pandav Nritya, Chapeli and Raman. Raman is also recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage. Now we move to Uttar Pradesh. As you can see on the screen, we have Charkula and Khayal. From Bihar, we have Bidesiya. Bidesiya is a theatrical form of Bihar. We also have Jhijia, which is being done by women of Bihar, holding pot over their head and they dance. Now we move to Central India. From Madhya Pradesh, we have Jawara, Matki, Bhagoria and Gridda. As you can see on your screen, we have Jawara and Matki. From Madhya Pradesh, we also have Bhagoria and Gridda, as you can see on your screen. From Chhattisgarh, we have Panthi, Karma, Suanacha, Rotnacha. So these are few folk dances which we have discussed. We are going to discuss about the music, few folk music also. Ball music is a mystical song of wandering minstrels blending Hindu bhakti and Sufi mysticism. Ik Tara, Do Tara, Duggi. This song speaks of union with the divine. Baitali, Bengal, Assam, sung by boatmen, evoking the river and human longing. And Povada of Maharashtra, the speaking of a poem narrating with valor of kings and warriors. So, folk music is less about grammar and more about emotions and storytelling. I conclude my lecture here. Thank you.